feel that your restaurant may not be doing as good as it could be? Maybe there's just some things that aren't working or causing some problems. Well, I'm here to tell you how to turn those negatives into big money. In 2004, innovative Consultasting brings average restaurants and transforms them into top-tier dining experiences. With a variety of experts to explore all types of cuisine, our values are something we are proud of, being that we are extremely trustworthy and hardworking to help you and your restaurants get back on top. The taste of a new beginning is what you will feel after our team succeeds in getting your standard to 5 stars. Hi, my name is Avery F. Anderson, and I'm a co-founder here of Innovative Consultasting. I have an MBA as well as 2 bachelor's degrees, one in real estate and one in finance. All 3 of my degrees are from the University of West Georgia. I have a firm knowledge in accounting, economics, finance, and real estate. So to say, I know a thing or two about money and how the consumer acts. Therefore, I want to help you increase your profit margin by miles. Recently, I assisted the Darden Corporation in increasing their profit margin by approximately $500 million in 2019. I want to do the same for you. Recently, I took a new lead, Red Lobster, which is a casual dining seafood restaurant. It has been in business for a little over 50 years. When some people think of Red Lobster, they may commonly think of the delicious Cheddar Bay biscuits. As you may know, some of the competitors to Red Lobster are Joe's Crab Shack, Olive Garden, and Longhorn. The dress and price level of all of these are very similar to Red Lobster. This is why we must put Red Lobster on top. As you may know, Red Lobster tends to be a more popular seafood restaurant. It is commonly known throughout the United States. So you may wonder, well, there's got to be some awesome strengths about Red Lobster, and there most certainly are. Red Lobster is commonly known for their friendly service, the fantastic food presentation, the strong capacity to fill large crowds, the quick bar service, and a lot of times the general manager even comes out to make a point to speak to the crowd. That's a fantastic restaurant. In addition to those fantastic strengths, customers at the Chattanooga, Tennessee location even said that, quote, "I always have perfect experience here and immaculate customer service. I love their family feast and order often. Once they included free wings as a thank you. Definitely recommend." Our first strength, we see that this restaurant is very prone to friendly service. As you can tell by reviews, quote, "Great service by Sarah, very personable, attentive, felt as though we were her only customers even though she had quite a few more. Food was prepared as ordered, grilled grouper, crab legs, steak, broccoli, fried shrimp, and very tasty and the right temperature when served. We return and hope to see Sarah." That is what we need to see in a restaurant. Something else that's also a positive aspect in the restaurant business is when the general manager comes and speaks to the table. For example, somebody from Chattanooga said that we had a great time having our anniversary dinner there. They had a great new general manager, hands-on, friendly, and sweet. She took that to me. She took time to speak to us and took great care of us. Our server was great too. As you can tell, people love this and consider it an aspect of a restaurant. Next on our list, we see where fantastic food presentation comes in. This is a key to success in a restaurant, and I'm glad to see that Red Lobster has this common positivity. As we can see in a review at the Chattanooga location, a lady says, "I love this Red Lobster location. The staff always goes out of their way to meet my needs. I'm a fan of the Caesar salad and chilled shrimp, New England clam chowder, and of course the steamed and cleaned live Maine lobster." As we can see that she likes this, and this is something that we can continue to improve on to keep bringing the customers back. The other thing that I find important is that people really like Red Lobsters that have the ability to care for large crowds and bar service. That way that they can be attentive to as many people as possible in many aspects, and this pleases as many people as possible, and that is what keeps many people coming back. In addition to the level of strengths, you do have your weaknesses. The weaknesses that were found for Red Lobster were that there was a long wait, that it was possible that somebody who had came in to the waiting area had put in their name after somebody else had already gotten seated faster. The cooks had sent out raw fish. The parking lot was nasty. The tables were broken, chipped, as well as some appliances seemed to be not in the proper condition, and cold food. So therefore, we see room for improvement. You may be wondering, how do we fix these weaknesses? Well, let me tell you. Okay, so first, when we look at the weaknesses, we see the long wait, and there's potential for others to be seated before others, as if somebody was there before you and they were seated before you. So let's think about this. First, I would recommend that Red Lobster needs to look into a system more so that deals chronologically and would be able to promote more efficient seating. That is how you'd be able to fix that, because that in the long run could turn people off if you did not prioritize the smooth chronological seating. Next on our list, we see where the potential for cooks to send out raw fish occur. We need to stop that by doing a few precautions, such as a food specialist, somebody who is trained and certified to be able to inspect food to the fullest entity to make sure that it is fit for the customer to consume. That will end the potential for a downturning review such as that. We have the potential to have a nasty parking lot. And this, to me personally, says a lot about the restaurant, that if they don't care for their grounds, then there's a potential to see discrepancies within the other internal systems. So, a restaurant needs a grounds crew. And you may think, well, Avery, why would you have a grounds crew? Trust me, somebody will judge the outside of the restaurant if it is not well kept and manicured and landscaped correctly. Therefore, you need a grounds crew to take care of the parking lot, so people do litter. So we need to take care of that so that it shows a clean, well-kept parking lot, yard, all that, because it will give somebody, a customer, a better experience at your restaurant. Next on our list, we have the potential for chipped, unsecured, faulty tables, as well as electrical outlets, lamps, or anything else as that pertains to interior decorating in the dining room. This shows that the restaurant does not have the high enough necessities or lust to be able to provide the consumer with a beneficial experience. They know that they're not going to rip their clothes, potentially get electrocuted. So therefore, we need to make sure that we have an interior inspector in the restaurant, somebody or who's delegated that duty to be able to take care of the restaurant dining room to the fullest, because that shows the restaurant is well kept to the consumer and should, in the long run, keep them coming back. Now we have the ability to see that the customers have had cold food served to them. As a restaurant that serves hot meals at not the cheapest prices, we need to be able to fully serve meals to the fullest entity. This falls under almost having raw food. A customer does not want a meal served cold if it is meant to be hot. Therefore, this is another call to have a food inspection specialist inspect every dish to the fullest entity before it is served to the consumer. Therefore, that eliminates the possibility for that kind of negative review to surface. The reason for a food specialist to be hired is that decreases the liability that arises from potentially serving cold, raw, uncooked food to the consumer, who could then possibly contract a sickness, and that would create the potential for a lawsuit against the restaurant. In addition to serving uncooked food, the potential for a liability also increases when there are faulty wiring, faulty outlets, anything like that, electrical exposed at the table, or the potential for skin contact can come in, where skin can come into contact. Therefore, properly inspecting the dining room, having somebody do that, delegating that duty, decreases that liability and the potential to get sued in that sector. Finally, a threat that strives in your parking lot is the unkeptness. Although I said that is a negative review, that can also be a major threat to your business. People perceive it as being trashy, unkept, and for Red Lobster, that's a pretty well-known name. So therefore, when people associate Red Lobster, they want to associate it with good things. That's what we want, right? So therefore, that's where the need for the ground crew comes in again. As you can see on this SWOT chart, under strengths we have the ability to hold large groups, friendly service, bar service, and the general manager usually comes around and speaks. Under weaknesses, we have parties that can put their name in before others were seated ahead. Cold and raw food, nasty parking lot, broken tables, appliances. Under threats, we have that people will judge a restaurant on how well kept the exterior is, the potential liability from raw food, and the potential liability if people get injured from malfunctioned tables/appliances. Under opportunities, we have hire a grounds crew for outside, hire a food inspector to inspect before the food goes out, and hire a dining room inspector to make regular checkups on the interior. In conclusion, I want to thank you for taking your time to invest in your future profitability. I know that some things may be hard to improve on, but remember, if we take some steps to improve your exterior, your interior, the way we're going to serve, all of that, our presentation skills, then we will most certainly see an increase in our profitability. And that's what we want. Thank you. As a token of our deepest appreciation here at Innovative Consultasting, please enjoy this complimentary gift for taking part in our services. Have a great day.